Valeria, how was your spring break?
It was good. I went to Rome.
OMG, did you enjoy yourself?
In fact, one of the highlights of my vacation was looking at the different street performers.
Oh, that's cool. What was your favorite discovery?
This pair of monks had a really cool act.
Oh, what did they do?
One monk was sitting on the floor while holding one end of a pole, and the other monk was sitting on the other end of the pole. It was so cool. I saw one of them levitate.
What? That's not possible. Are you sure?
Yeah, you want to see proof?
I still don't think he's levitating.
No, but I saw him levitate. How else would the man on the floor hold the levitating man's weight for so long?
Well, they're street performers. They have their illusions, just like magicians do.
No, but I saw with my own eyes that he was levitating. When we think about the situation in the context of sense perception, we rely on our senses when justifying situations. Seeing is believing, right?
I don't think that's right. Just because you see something doesn't make it real. When we think about this situation deductively, street performers are con artists. Those monks are street performers. Therefore, those monks are con artists. According to informal reasoning, just because you can prove that the monk is not levitating doesn't indicate that he actually is. Using sense perception, we tend to only take into account what is in our perceptual field, which at times leads us to overlook other things.
Yes, sense perception has its limitations, but reasoning is not perfect either, considering that it has logical fallacies, showing that the logic can be inaccurate. In this situation, you are implying that all street performers are con artists, but you can't assume all street performers are con artists. That is making a hasty generalization because not all of them aim to deceive people. So in this situation, I used sight when observing what the monks were wearing. Their clothes didn't fit the schema I had of monks.
You can't always trust your senses, or you're scammers. For example, a scam most people have of detectives are not what they really look like. Do all detectives walk around with magnifying glasses and wear detective caps? No, they don't. Think about this situation inductively. Those monks are street performers. Street performers wear costumes. Therefore, those monks are wearing costumes.
If senses are unreliable, then why do we rely on them so much when making decisions? For example, when I went to Singapore for spring break, I tried so many different foods. The decision of whether I liked the food or not relied on my senses. While I was there, one of the foods I tried was the durian, Singapore's national fruit.
But the fruit is extremely gross. In my opinion, I think they're the skunks of fruit. They smell really bad.
What? They taste so good. Maybe it was an acquired taste. Have you actually tasted them, though? Using your senses is a great way to help identify how we truly feel about a certain object, which in this case could help lead you to figure out how you truthfully feel about the durian fruit.
I mean, I've never tried durians, because just the smell of the fruit emits puts me off. So, in a way, I am using my senses to justify whether I like it or not. But I'm still a bit confused to what extent the sense perception and reason help identify the truth.
See, you are using your sense perception to help guide your choice of whether you truthfully like the durian fruit or not, since you are using one of your senses, smell. You are creating an expectation derived from the smell of the fruit. You jump to the conclusion that durians taste bad purely from the fact that the fruit does not smell the best. Just because other foul-smelling foods you have tasted did not taste good, you expect a bad-tasting fruit. Expectations have the ability to influence the way we see and interpret things. Also, it can allow for objects to be misperceived just like you may be misperceiving the durian fruit. I mean, without tasting it, how do you truly know that you don't like it?
Well, instead I think about it inductively. Durians have an unpleasant smell. Foods that have unpleasant smells taste bad, therefore, durians taste bad.
But you can't always rely on your reasoning. Sometimes you need to take sense perception into consideration rather than just reasoning all the time. What you stated could be valid. but it may not necessarily be true.
But senses tend to be biased. We are accustomed to different tastes and smells, growing up in different cultures. Senses tend to be more objective that way. Reasoning, on the other hand, is universal and can be generalized with any situation.
So wait, I feel like if we were to combine both the concepts together, it would be a more efficient, and maybe even effective, way to help identify the truth.
Yes, I feel like even though neither sense perception and reason are perfect, and both have limitations, they are still effective ways of identifying whether something is true or not.
Gasp asterisk, this would be a great resource to use in doc class, and would make for an effective knowledge question.
Oh, yeah. We could word it like, to what extent does sense perception and reason help us identify the truth?
You are creative. Yes, too bad we did not record our conversation.
Ugh, yeah. This would have been a great project to turn in. All that hard work, wasted.